Live market update for this Monday. Actually, it's before Monday. I'm doing this on Sunday. So before the open on Monday, February 9th. And let's rock and roll. Let's look at the equity markets and see what we got. So one of the things we do with the equity markets is we look at the overall relative strength of the various four major equity indexes. And for these, I never use the cash indexes. I prefer to use the ETFs. And the reason for that is because the ETFs have volume. So I can include volume in my analysis because they're tradable assets, whereas the cash indexes are not tradable. So no volume goes through them. All right, so the four major equity indexes are, and we'll just go right through them here. So we're going to start with the Q, the Q, the Q. So Nasdaq 100, we have broken this green line right here. That is the 50-period SMA. We've broken down below that. That's kind of a line in the sand between a bull and bear market. And we broke, this is the 100 SMA here, this tan line. So we broke both of those support levels. Cycle low, momentum negative, volume down. But now we've bounced off. So we had a little bit of a Bollinger Band squeeze there. Actually, we had kind of a Bollinger Band squeeze failure there. And now we'll see, maybe getting a Bollinger Band squeeze failure here to the downside. So kind of interesting. Fake to the upside, fake to the downside. Gosh, do the markets ever really try to fake us out? No, never. Okay, so anyway, the Qs are still a bit negative until we get above the 50 MA. We have to say that, and this is, by the way, the most bearish of the four equity indexes. And we're going to use the 50 SMA as a reference point for the relative strength of the four equity indexes, as well as the previous swing high. So you'll see this swing high here. If you look at my crosshairs, it comes all the way over to this. And so this high here back in November, that's what caused resistance here, along with the cycle high, and down she went. Okay, so let's go over to, let's look at IWM next. That's the small caps, Russell 2000. Now here you'll see, again, as I was mentioning, the relative strength of the 50/50 SMA as a line of demarcation for, well, relative strength. So the IWM, the small caps, are outperforming the large cap tech stocks, which is what the Qs are. So here we've got, for top trading students, those who know what we trade, this is the mitten pattern right here of making that a very high probability cycle low. Momentum did not go down as much. It zeroed out, but not as negative as the Qs. Bouncing off the 50 MA, which often will provide support, especially on a daily chart. That's what these are, daily charts. And of course, Friday we had a nice bullish move up. Bollinger Bands also still tight, fairly narrow range, but they're moving toward each other. They're not moving away from each other. All right, then we go to the almighty spiders. The SPY, the S&P 500, the benchmark by which most money management people and financial analysts, traders are measured. So what we got here, again, if we look at the 50 MA, now what happened here was we broke down below it one day, and we ran into, again, there's that 100 SMA. So a little extra tip here, bonus tip. I recommend putting the 100 SMA on your charts, 100 period simple moving average. And you see, again, it has provided support way back here in November and provided support again here just late last week and providing support, and then we bounced off of it. Now, we closed below the 50 for one day, and then we closed back above the 50. So that was a very short-lived little a little meandering down there, a pierce, but not a full break, not a full committed break. But volume down. Now we look at our Bollinger Bands as we've been doing, and again we had a Bollinger Band expansion, but now again that's been rejected. So a good example of why, when you trade Bollinger Band squeezes or anything else, don't trade them into support. So for example here, if you took a Bollinger Band squeeze trade short, you were trading right into the support of the 100 SMA if You have that on your charts if you saw that, which most people don't. So this gives you what I like to call an invisible edge, having something on your charts that works very, very well that most traders don't have. So it's invisible to them, but you will see it. So 100 SMA is my gift to you today as an invisible edge that will allow you to see something that other traders don't. And again, it's very tradable. Okay, now then we go over to the Dow. And the Dow, totally different story. The Dow has, again, talking about relative strength, has been outperforming the other three major equity indexes. So it's kind of interesting to me that a lot of people don't look at the Dow very much anymore, but you should. You should. Don't rule it out. Don't think it's just all old, stocks and large caps that don't really do much or move anything. There's not a lot of excitement there. You got to look at the charts. And that's what chart reading is really all about. It's just, in fact, technical analysis, which is another term for chart reading, essentially, is, I define it as the map of mass psychology. The map of mass psychology. So all that makes markets move up or down is supply and demand. So don't go with narratives of thinking, oh, I want to be with the high flyer tech stocks because, that's where AI is, that's where chips are, that's where blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But is the money really flowing there or not? Because that's all that really matters. Follow the money. And for right now, at this snapshot of time, the money's flowing into the Dow 30. And we're making all-time highs. So here again, we've got a Bollinger Band squeeze, but this time we're just going to the upside. And we closed all-time highs, no resistance in sight here. So now what do you do for resistance? Well, don't have time for it in this video, but I'll just give you a little tip. What we do is we use Fibonacci extensions. And actually, that's a good tip. Maybe I'll do a video on Fibonacci extensions in the future. Now that we're at this point in real time, showing you in real time, is a great opportunity to teach you how to find resistance levels. In other words, the practical function of resistance levels at this point would be price targets, exits. Where would we look to exit when we don't have a previous swing high or cycle high to create a resistance level? So yeah, I think I will do that. Okay, so anyway, right now, of all of these, by the way, this little green arrow, that means it's a bullish Heiken Ashi bar. That's what that means. So it's still an indicator I created that measures, identifies bullish Heiken Ashi bars. Now, we never trade those alone. We only trade them in concert with other things. But we've got a Bollinger Band squeeze with 50 MAs up. In this one, we've held the 50 MA. So again, look at the relative strength. Never dipped below it, never broke below it, never even pierced below it here recently. And so all along, this really has been the equity index to trade. And again, volume up. And here, for those of you who are my students, this could be a check-in money flow. It's a top dog trading version of the check-in money flow. It could be a reload pattern on that as well, so providing strength. Also, remember to get the cycle indicator, my top dog trading cycle indicator, which is here, but I can show you how to set that up on your charts and specifically how to trade it. I mentioned the mitten pattern. How to trade it is not intuitive. So there are 6 what I call mini momentum shift patterns that we use for entries, and I'll teach you how to trade those, how to set up on your charts, all for free. And that's my gift to you. Go to that website right there and go get it for yourself.